Have you ever been on a lonely highway at night? The road is empty, the rain is pouring, and the only light you see ahead is a flickering neon sign that reads, "Vacancy." Now, most people would call it luck, finding a motel in the middle of nowhere. But sometimes, that luck can be the worst mistake of your life. Tonight, you'll hear the story of James, a traveler who stopped at the wrong motel, and discovered why nobody ever checks out of Willow Creek Motel. Let's start the story.
It was a cold October night, somewhere along the lonely highways of Pennsylvania. James, a traveling salesman, had been driving for hours when heavy rain forced him to pull over. His GPS had no signal, and the only sign of life he spotted was a flickering neon board that read, "Willow Creek Motel, Vacancy." The place looked old, paint peeling off, windows dark, and the kind of silence that makes you wonder if anyone actually lives there. But James had no choice. He parked his car, grabbed his bag, and walked inside. The lobby smelled of damp carpet and something faintly metallic, like rust. Behind the counter sat an old man with pale skin and deep, tired eyes. "Room for one?" James asked. The man nodded slowly, handed him an actual metal key, no plastic card, just a cold brass key with the number 6 scratched on it. "Checkout is sunrise," the old man whispered. His voice cracked like dry wood. James found the choice of words odd. Not morning, not whenever you like, just sunrise. But he was too tired to care. The hallway to room 6 was dimly lit, the bulbs buzzing like they were on their last breath. Inside, the room was simple: one bed, a dresser, a dusty TV, and a window overlooking the empty parking lot. James tossed his bag down, but before he could relax, he noticed something strange. The room was freezing. His breath came out in visible puffs, though the heater rattled loudly in the corner. He tried the TV, just static. He tried the lamp, dead. And then, the phone rang. James froze. He hadn't touched the phone. Slowly, he picked it up. A woman's voice whispered, "Don't sleep in that bed." The line went dead. His heart thumped. Was this some prank? Maybe the old man's twisted idea of fun? James decided he wasn't going to play alone. He double-checked the door, locked. Windows, locked. Then, exhausted, he lay down on the bed anyway. But as soon as he closed his eyes, the sound started. Tap, tap, tap. Like fingernails scratching the dresser. He opened his eyes, nothing. Tap, tap, tap. This time, it came from under the bed. James's throat went dry. He leaned over the edge, lifted the blanket, and looked underneath. Nothing. He chuckled nervously, trying to shake it off. But when he sat back up, his blood ran cold. The dresser drawer was open. And inside, carved into the wood, were the words, "You shouldn't be here." Panicked now, James grabbed his bag, ready to leave. But when he opened the door, the hallway wasn't there. Instead, there was another room. Identical to his. Same bed. Same dresser. Same smell. He stumbled back, slammed the door shut, heart racing. He tried the window. Outside was just pitch black emptiness, like the world had vanished. Then the phone rang again. Hands shaking, James picked up. This time, it was the same woman's voice, only closer, clearer, almost like she was in the room with him. "He won't let you leave." James dropped the phone. Suddenly, the heater stopped. The room fell into complete silence. And in that silence, James heard breathing. Not his own. Slow, ragged, heavy breathing, coming from the corner of the room. He turned his head, and for the first time, he wasn't alone. In the shadows stood a figure. Tall. Motionless. Its face pale and hollow, with eyes that glowed faintly in the dark. The figure stepped forward. James stumbled back, pressed against the wall. Who are you?" he yelled. The figure tilted its head. And then, in the exact same whisper as the woman on the phone, it said, "Checkout is sunrise." James never remembered what happened next. The next morning, when the sun rose over Willow Creek, the parking lot was empty. Room 6 was spotless. Bed made, dresser closed, no sign of anyone ever staying there. The old man at the front desk simply added another brass key to his collection. And if you drive down that lonely highway on a rainy October night, you might see the neon sign flicker again. Willow Creek Motel, vacancy. But remember, at Willow Creek Motel, nobody ever checks out.
And that was the story of the last guest at Willow Creek Motel. If you ever find yourself driving late at night and see a flickering motel sign, maybe think twice before stopping. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because the next story might just be waiting for you.